At the floor of the New York Stock Exchange now, vicariously through Flashback, which offers a reminder today that the stock market is often as volatile as it is now. Our report points out the fact there's no guarantee of high returns in the market, especially if you trade in and out of it frequently, hoping to buy at all the lows and sell at all the highs. 24 years ago today, October 19th, 1987, was the day they called Black Monday.
There was panic and there were sell orders in trading rooms on Wall Street. The orders came from institutional as well as private investors. 5 years ago, when the bull market began, the Dow was at 776. It rose to a high of 2722 in August of this year. But in the last 2 weeks, the Dow wiped out more than 30% of the gain, more than half of that in one day.
In 1929, many of the investors were smaller ones who borrowed large amounts of money and then couldn't pay it back when the bottom fell out. Today, most of the investors are big companies, banks, pension plans, and life insurance companies, and they're only allowed to borrow half of the purchase price. That still leaves the question of why the 500-point drop. Well, Dr. Blay says while there are some problems with the economy, interest rates going up and trade deficits are high, he says much of what's going on is just panic. Panic that might be caused by the action in the Persian Gulf. And what if you're an investor, one of those remaining small investors who still play the market? Is this a time to start bailing out?
If you haven't sold your stocks by now, don't sell them now. Don't panic.
It's kind of the same advice they give today.
All right.
And did you notice that Dow Industrials were at around 2,700 in those days, as opposed to around 11,000 today?
And they call that Black Monday. We're Desperate Wednesday now.
Well, we could be.
Oh, my goodness.
We could be.
Puts it into perspective.
The speakers in that story were Dr. Jeffrey Blay, still today with the School of Management at Rhode Island College, as far as I know, and stockbroker Richard Morzilli. The reporters in that story were Patrice Wood and then Mark Anik,
wow,
who's now in Texas and is no longer in TV news, last time we checked that.